Thousands of people converged on the state capitol last week, rallying for school choice. Supporters want lawmakers to back bills that use tax dollars to help parents pay for private or homeschool options. Our Anna Wernicke gives us a closer look.
Marching bands and drum lines shook the Capitol lawn. Students from all across the state buzzed to Austin on Tuesday, hoping for one thing: more choices on where they can go to school.
There's plenty of room for choice.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick is expected to file a bill any day now that would give each student in Texas roughly $5,000 to put towards approved education-related expenses, like private school tuition.
It's the taxpayers' money. It's the taxpayers' children. It's the children's future. I say, give us a vote, up or down, on school choice.
But Patrick has already faced some tough opposition in the Texas House, where lawmakers have expressed concerns about the lack of accountability with an education savings account.
We have now 5.3, it'll be 5.4 million soon. Public education children in the public education system.
Gary Godsey, the executive director of the Association of Texas Professional Educators, says expanding school choice would take important money away from the state's public school system.
Why in the world would you want to cut the future of Texas when you need to be investing more in it?
Anna Wernicke for State of Texas.
Governor Greg Abbott also took part in the rally. He told the crowd he would sign any school choice bill that reaches his desk. Last session, the Texas Senate passed a similar voucher plan, but the bill died in the House. For perspective on the school choice debate, we turn to our panel of experts. Ben Philpott is the senior editor for KUT Radio. John Moritz covers Texas politics for the USA Today Network. Welcome.
Hello, glad to be here.
So let's start with school choice. What think is going to be the big fight? How's it going to get past the House this time?
It's going to be a tough sell in the House. A lot of rural Republicans feel very close to their local school boards and their local school superintendents. A lot of jobs at stake there. That's where they lived during the 18 months the legislature's not in session. And locally, especially in the rural communities, school choice is not that popular.
It's hard to make that case to the districts that, this will provide an extra choice for your students when the closest school may be 40 miles away.
A lot of districts are kind of worried about the financial aspect of it, right?
Well, yeah, because they're not quite sure, how much money is going to be taken away from them, whether there will be any kind of backfill. Probably not, because you don't have a kid in the seat, then you don't get the money for that kid. And of course there's questions about how much state accountability will also be transferred with whatever money is sent over to private schools. Will they have class size limits? Will they have teacher accreditation? Will they have testing and requirements for how well the students are testing? All things that we'll finally see once the bill gets rolled out and the debate begins.
The critics of school choice point out that the private schools are very happy to take taxpayers' money, not so happy to take the state rules and regulations that might come along with that money.
How would parents factor into this whole equation, really?
If the education savings accounts bill is the one that moves forward, backers of that say the money comes and then you can be in charge of how it is allocated. It's not just for tuition necessarily. It could be for a tutor. It could be for transportation to and from. It could be for like remedial classes. You could still be in a public school but need some help from a private tutor or learning center, and that money could go there.
And that's kind of where a lot of the accountability questions come in too, right?
Right, and also just the simple idea of how much the voucher will be and whether or not that's even enough to pay for some private schools, if the private schools are even willing to accept children in the first place.
So on the school topic, we have heard a little bit about the school finance system this week already. I mean, I thought this was getting close to being done, but now we're bringing it back up again for another session. What's that all about?
Well, I think let me back up a little bit. There are some who think this is a dress rehearsal for an interim study. It's to give the impression to the voters and others that they are serious about this. It's very hard in a regular session to do something with as many components. You got a tax component, you got an education, you got standards components. It's really very hard to do that in the confines of 140 days.
It's been really interesting to see the Senate all of a sudden jump on board to the idea of a major overhaul of the school finance system. The House, Speaker Strauss has said it's one of his top priorities for a while now. The Senate was mostly just looking at a voucher program with the possibility of some other stuff. And then, of course, we saw this past week a rollout on Friday of the very first meeting on an overhaul to the school finance system. So yeah, as John said, it's going to be interesting to see how much data they can collect now, and then whether or not we may come back for a special session in 2018.
Because this has already gone through the court process and everything.
It has. The courts, though, while they did not say you have to do it, they also said this is kind of a crappy system, and you should really consider doing better for the children of Texas. And so Joe Strauss, of course, again, has been on that. He grabbed at those lines from the court ruling and said, yeah, we need to do something more than just what is constitutional.
The other side might grab onto that constitutional part and cling to it.
That's right.
Of course. Yeah. So with higher education, on the college level, we saw the Senate budget is actually going to take money away from that, and a lot of universities are kind of upset about that, right?
It continues to be, since we had tuition deregulation in 2003 session, it continues to be this argument of, if the state is not going to give more, should the state colleges and universities have the ability to raise their tuition to make up that gap? Some state lawmakers, especially in the Texas Senate, don't think so. Or at least don't think that the colleges and universities are raising their tuition too quickly. So that will continue to be the big fight this time. If the schools are saying, fine, you're not going to give us money, great, but let us have freedom, and we'll see how much freedom might get through this session.
Yeah, it's a huge sea change from a generation ago. It used to be Texas A&M. They got what they needed to remain world-class facilities, or to attain a higher level toward a world-class facility. We don't see them on as high a pedestal as we might have 20, 25 years back.
We got just a few seconds. What's going to be the biggest difference with the House budget?
The House budget has a little bit more money in it. The budget leaders freely admit that it has more money than the revenue estimate says. So they'll say, this is everything we think we can afford, but some things are going to have to fall off the table. I think the fight will be what's left on the table and what has to fall off.
What do you think?
And the House has an additional, I believe it's $1.5 billion set aside if school finance reform changes to that system go through. So we'll see if that money survives to the end of the session.
All right, should be an interesting one.
Always is.
Thank you guys for being here. And thank you for joining us for State of Texas. Stay tuned for Meet the Press coming up at 9. I'm Josh Hinkle. Have a great day.